following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, it's time. Welcome to Filthy Fridays on HardcoreChristianity.com. You are about to listen to the nastiest Christian radio broadcast in the country. You're going to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we don't care who likes it. Welcome to the program, today's Bible study. The Venue Church in Tennessee making headway and headlines. Please don't call anybody and tell them the radio program's on. Today's material is a little bit too sensitive for new listeners. This is a family program today. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. Been a counselor for 40 years. We are on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building. When you go to the website, hardcorechristianity.com, you can see all of our ministry services. We have 2 live services every week, 7 p.m. Mountain Time and 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Both services are broadcast live on our streaming channel, youtube.com/houseofhealingaz. And when you go to the website, please remember to sign up for one of our free seminars. Sign up for my Deliverance and Healing teaching class. That's on the 4th Saturday of every month at noon in the small sanctuary. My email address is mike@hardcorechristianity.com. If you need a religious exemption to avoid the vaccine, which now is medically and scientifically proven, it does nothing to stop the coronavirus. The coronavirus is outside the ability of the vaccine. They are simply vaccinating people for financial reasons. It's a money grab. Mike@hardcorechristianity.com, and I will mail you the religious exemption that same day. Also, if you know somebody who needs to be healed or delivered and they're not able to come to the Deliverance Center, send me an email, Mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I will send you the miracle list for deliverance and healing, a step-by-step procedure you go through with them to freedom. Please hit the PayPal button when you go to the website and send us another donation. We had a great year last year thanks to you. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website, ready to list your house for sale. Thank you for all you did for us last year and all your kind referrals. The Venue Church. Here we go again. I have done numerous radio shows over the last 19 years explaining in detail why deliverance has to be reinstated in the churches. Deliverance is the children's bread. Christians can be infected with demons, but they cannot be possessed by them. It's impossible for a Christian to be possessed. They can be infected with demons, and unfortunately, because the churches kicked deliverance out decades ago, we have so many pastors currently pastoring now, particularly those in venues like Hillsong, mega churches, Mars Hill, these different huge churches. They're loaded with demon-infected pastors, ministers, and many of them are on the church board. That's why there's so many scandals, because when these people get born again, they feel God calling them into the ministry, so they go to Bible college or seminary, they graduate, they didn't go through deliverance, so they carry over their demons from their sinful life into their Christian life. Then they get placed in a church, they get placed in the church, and then the demons manifest later and a scandal breaks out. And of course all the scandals are related to one of two things, sex or money. It happened again at the Venue Church in Tennessee. Here's the article. Quote, a fast-growing Tennessee megalopolis is dealing with a scandal after its pastor was already allegedly caught half naked in his home with a married employee by several worshipers who stopped by to surprise him. Well, their goal was met. They did surprise him. Quote, the Place Church volunteers in Chattanooga got more than they bargained for last November when they decided to visit Pastor Tavener Smith at his home only to discover he was wearing his boxers and a fellow female believer who worked at the church was wrapped only in a towel. She was nude. Alrighty then. Quote, the Place Church has been rocked by the alleged incident. They have two locations. One of them is the Venue Church, one's the Place Church. Quote, the revealingly dressed woman is also married to another worker at the church. Tarver Smith, whatever his name is, he's married and has got 3 kids. The woman he's having an affair with, she is also married. Smith and the woman are said to have tried to avert any suspicion by telling the group who caught them that they had made chili and hot dogs and accidentally spilled some on their clothes. The volunteers didn't seem convinced because they asked them, if she dropped peppers on her clothes, why are you wearing your boxer shorts? Do you guys like throwing peppers at each other? According to the source, it's been a long suspected affair. It's been rumored they'd been having an affair for a long period of time. Smith's married, has 3 kids, and the volunteer who they caught him with regularly met in his office during the day, causing all these rumors. Both of them denied the affair. Well, in January 21, the pastor announced that he and his wife were getting a divorce. Her name is Danielle Lancia. And they didn't give a reason for the divorce. Well, in May, they filed divorce, and the divorce papers that the wife filed listed adultery. The May divorce filing was triggered by a video that was captured out in public with the pastor and his girlfriend kissing in public in a public restaurant, and the thing went viral. Well, what happened after that? I'm kind of tired of reading this article already. What happened after that was that they had a big meeting at the church. 8 of the other ministers confronted him, and he wouldn't answer any questions directly. He was very vague about what had happened. He wouldn't admit they were having an affair, even though they were filmed kissing in public. And he basically acted like he didn't regret it, and that he felt that this woman was sent to him by God. Okay, so now it's a spiritual thing. My wife is leaving me, so it's spiritually okay for me to have an affair and fall in love again, which is apparently what the guy did. And shortly after that, video came out of them kissing in a restaurant. 8 ministers from the church quit. They had 2 locations. The one in Georgia collapsed. That one just completely shut down. Shortly this year, January 5th, 2022, Smith announced that he's taking a sabbatical to, quote, take some time to fill myself up, spend time with God, and get some advice so I can be back, rested, refreshed, and ready for the rest of the year. He said, I love you all, and I'll see you in February. Folks, this is not a fake radio program. This is not something I read in a comic book. This is a common thing. It happens in all these mega churches. It happens in giant churches like Hillsong. It happens in smaller churches too, obviously. But the root cause of all of this insanity is no deliverance. The church kicked out deliverance. And every person who is a pastor should have gone through deliverance before they became a pastor. Okay? So here you've got 2 families broken up now. This pastor is married with 3 kids. She left him. The other woman he was having an affair with, they're probably in love. You know how that works. She is also married. They got divorced. Her husband got divorced, and part of the divorce stipulations was that none of their kids would be allowed to attend Venue Church. He didn't want his children near his ex-wife and her lover, the pastor of the church. Okay, so to me that seems very reasonable, obviously. The whole system is shaken to the core. Everybody is hurt. The church members who don't have half a brain, who don't find anything wrong with this because our society is so corrupt, so rotten, so perverted, are supporting the pastor and they want him to stay there. The other half of the church can't believe what happened, can't believe the guy didn't admit anything, and then looked back on the church and decided it was an occult. And many people are leaving. One of the churches closed, the other one's on rocky ground. Okay? Most of the sermons the guy mentioned always mentioned tithing in the service. They built a new church. Started it out very small in a Walmart warehouse, a Sam's Club, and they started a small church and the thing boomed. They spent $5 million to build a new building. Okay? And all this stuff happened, massive church growth, all kinds of good things were going on. But now everything's destroyed. Why? Because the pastor committed adultery? No. Because the woman committed? No. Because in our society, churches are not required, do not follow the Word of God. They don't follow the biblical example of deliverance. If you don't get rid of lust demons, if you don't get rid of witchcraft spirits, those spirits will temporarily go dormant. You'll get into the ministry, and then you will have a massive scandal. I've done, a dozen radio shows, almost a dozen, on Hillsong Church. These kind of things happen all the time over there. And all of it, 100% of it, is related to deliverance. Lack thereof. All of this could be fixed if you got the lust demons out of the pastoral staff, out of the board members. If they all went through deliverance, none of these scandals would happen. Money scandals, sex scandals, everything revolves around those two things. If you have adultery urges, if you have fornication urges, and you're in the ministry, you have got spirits in your body. You're not demon possessed. You can't be, but you are infected with demons. They are in your body. They are promoting sinful desires and lusts, and you've got to go through deliverance. You can do it anonymously at the Arizona Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800. You do not have to go through a hideous scandal, embarrassing God and your family and destroying everything you've built. Come for help now.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.